Hi, I'm Bob Ryan, and the goings-on in San Antonio last night certainly brought to mind a very famous incident that happened 30 years ago in the NBA Finals. It was Game 5 of the Lakers-Celtics series, and the story actually begins, in my judgment, the day before. Now, I happen to have flown back the day before from Los Angeles after the Celtics' big win in overtime in Game 4 with the Lakers, not with the Celtics. And we arrived at Logan Airport at 5 p.m. on that Thursday afternoon, and it was a heat wave in Boston, and the scene at Logan was chaotic. Terminal C, I will never forget it. The Lakers were supposed to have a bus pull up. The States wouldn't let the bus pull up. The Lakers had to get into cabs. The place was crazy. If you know the scene from The Year of Living Dangerously, babies crying, women screaming, it looked like a scene right out of a movie. And there was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar getting into a cab, and I said to myself, this is not what the big fella has in mind. We get the next day, and it is heat wave time. It is 97 degrees Fahrenheit at game time Friday night, 4th of June, 1984, in the unair-conditioned Boston Garden. The crowd is unlike any crowd I have ever seen before or since in the Garden. Never were fewer clothes worn by people in the Garden than that night. Women halter tops, everybody in shorts, T-shirts. It was, and the crowd knew they could make this a happening. The crowd made that a positive thing for the Boston Celtics. They embraced it and they plugged into it. Meanwhile, the Lakers, last place on earth they wanted to be. They even brought an oxygen tank, which Kareem wound up sucking on during the game. Who's out there acting like there's nothing wrong with this at all? Larry Bird. Larry Bird that night went for 34 points, 17 rebounds, 15 for 20 from the floor. And the Celtics won 121-103 in the pivotal 5th game to take charge of the series. And it was absolutely one of the 3 or 4 biggest and best and most memorable nights of the entire Larry Bird career, frankly. And after the game, Larry said, hell, you know, back home in Indiana, I play like this all the time. Well, okay, good. But the fact is, it was not what the Lakers had in mind. It absolutely ranks as one of the great nights in history of the Boston Garden. This happened to LeBron 20 years ago, there would be hardly any conversation. It would be taken for granted that that the cramps bothered him. But in this age of social media and talk radio and talk shows on the TV, there's no chance for anyone to escape. I'm afraid it will hurt his reputation, and it's poppycock. The fact is, you talk to athletes, and they will tell you, cramping is brutal. If you have cramps, there's nothing you can do about it. You think that he didn't want to play. You think that he didn't know the gravity of the situation for his team. He did want to come back in that game. And with 3 minutes to go, Eric Spoelstra and the medical staff said, no, we got to live to fight another day. I feel bad for LeBron. It's just one of those things.